All right, so let's get started here. This is the web-based version of SketchUp. I want to make sure we have a few students who are using Chromebooks, and this is one way that you can work through it. The key difference is the menu system is streamlined in some ways, and you have navigating through them takes a little bit of effort here. But let's concentrate on a couple of things here. So I've created my account. I have a SketchUp window open, and I want to go to the menu button here up in the upper left, and I want to add a model. I've already got it here, but let's go through that process. I want to add the model, and I want to get the one I downloaded for class, and happens to be the Impeller SketchUp, F19 Impeller SketchUp file, and then I clicked open to upload it. So that brought it in here, and so once you select it in here, of course, you can open it, and I already had it open, so it opened it again. The next piece I want us to concentrate on, let me switch screens a little bit here for myself. All right, there we go. All right, so this is our CAD program of choice. There's nothing particularly different between SketchUp and other programs. It just happens to be simple enough to meet our needs. It's our tool of choice. A couple of things that I'll recommend right here, though, is the use of a scroll wheel mouse. I'm using a scroll wheel mouse now. It allows you to, in particular, of course, do your selecting and right-clicking for options, those kinds of things. But with the scroll wheel, you can scroll in and out by rolling the wheel, or you can click and hold that scroll wheel and then orbit around. Those tools are available to you down here in the lower left-hand piece and up at the top, so you can zoom in. So down here is the orbit tool, and under the orbit tool you can see zoom as an option. So zooming in and out still works, but the orbit tool would also work. That's this one here, which would allow us to left click and rotate around. One of the values of this is that if I need to draw a line from one point to another, say from this point to a point on the back side, that in the middle of that command I can rotate it around and choose to come over here and put the second line in. So let me escape, undo this. All right, so the scroll wheel, again, very valuable for what we're doing. The model units is another thing we'll want to do. So on the right-hand side in the menu system, this you'll hit, and it pulls out the options. And so model info pops up, and it reads subtly different from the installed versions, but we can choose inches and decimal. That's this one that's highlighted here. And then down below, we can choose a number of significant digits in our measurements. And so I always put them all on there until I want to display it or take a screenshot, and they're redundant. So that will do that. Then you can close it on the right hand side, and these are the units it uses to export the files. And so in some cases it may be necessary, you might do the units in one, come back here, modify them. The size doesn't change, but the measurements change, and it may be better to export it in millimeters rather than inches, but today we're using inches. All right, so we've got this click and roll. I've discussed the units. The circle tool. So sometimes tools like the circle tool, I'm going to expand this menu, and in this circle tool menu you'll see text, 3D text you can add, five-sided or polygons that you can add, circles, and then arcs and rectangle. So, but when you choose the circle one, you'll notice down in the right hand corner it tells how many sides this circle can have. Again, it approximates circles with by breaking it into segments, and so I might choose to put 60. I can type it in. Once you hit the circle command once, you can type in how many it is and hit enter. I think the default is more likely this. I'm going to do that one more time. Select the circle, type 24, hit enter, and then that you can't type down here, but once you first select it, it'll allow you to modify that. So now when I draw a circle here, you can see if you go big enough, there's segments in that circle. So I'm going to Control Z to get out of that. Sometimes if the circle is very small, it won't let you put a large number of segments because it's best approximated by a smaller number of segments. So that's the piece of that. So our goal, just to kind of talk about it, I'll switch to just the selection tool. This product is our impeller, and it fits a household fountain pump. That fountain pump is about the size of your closed fist, but this impeller piece will fit in the palm of your hand. It's about 1.5 inches tall, and the diameter at the base where these fins are at is 1 inch. So we'll be recreating a version of this. This is a model of what the original looks like, and we'll be creating a version of this that allows us to 3D print and test out some other ideas of yours. So that brings us to the end of this. Again, I'll hopefully this will meet your need for those people working in Chrome. I'll do a duplicate of the second one as well.